everyone, and welcome to another day of Treats on the Streets. My name is Gavin, and today we have some errands we're going to be running. The first thing I'm going to do is pull the car out of the garage so that I have room to put the tires in the trunk, because we are going to be going to get the new tires put on today. Now with these tires, you guys have heard me recommend Achilles multiple times. I'm pretty excited to try these ones out because they are a model of Achilles that I haven't tried yet. And these tires have been sitting in my basement for at least a month, I'd say. So it's about time that we get these things put on. I'm hoping that I can fit 2 tires in my trunk. I know the back seats fold down. Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to fold the seats down to fit a second one in there. There we go. There we go. As far as the ones that we're taking off, those are BF Goodrich G-Forces, and they did have a lot of grip when it was nice and dry. But the thing that I didn't like about them, which I think will be different with the Achilles, is that once those start to break loose, they kind of snap oversteer and don't break loose very gradually. So sometimes it's kind of hard to catch the spin or to catch the drift, and I spin out. So what we're going to do is take these tires over to Big O, no, Discount Tire actually, have them put them on for us. And then we're gonna go for a little drive to test them out to see what I think of those Achilles on the back. Now the best way that I think to figure out what I think about the tires is, A, I wanna know how well they grip, like for cornering grip when I'm going around corners and not trying to slide. And then I also wanna know about how predictable they are once I do start to slide. So we're gonna try to do a little bit of both today. Now I'm really excited to get these new tires put on, not just so that we can do some more driving with a fresh set of rubber in the rear, but also because anytime that you change tires between different brands, different sizes, or whatever, there's usually a pretty noticeable difference in how the car is going to handle. And anything that makes a change in handling characteristics is a good thing, whether it's good or bad, just because it helps you learn about what works for the car and what's going to work better. Changing your tires between different brands or different sizes not only can give you more grip or less grip, but it also can change, depending on sidewall stiffness, how quickly it reacts to turning inputs and things like that. A lot of people overlook the importance of the tires. If you think about it, that's really the only thing that's connecting everything, your suspension, all of that stuff, to the road. So it's a big, important part. You could have the best coilovers and the best suspension setup and alignment in the world, but if your tires don't work very well with that, it's not gonna matter. Now the opening back there for access between the back seats and into the trunk isn't super big, like super wide, so you can't really fit the tires next to each other that way. But as you can see, they fit pretty well, and if I needed to put 2 more tires in here to have a setup of 4, they could easily fit. Good thing to know. There's a Series Yellow BRZ right behind me. You hardly ever see those things. I love that sound it makes when Vanos kicks in, about 5,200 or so. Well, we're almost there. Let's do one last little burnout to send these things off, because we can. There we are, good old Discount Tire. I just realized that out of all these gauges down here, my oil temperature gauge still works when the car's off. I just talked to the guys in there. They said the wait's about 45 minutes. So now I'm just sitting in the car watching YouTube, of course. Cletus ripping in an ATS-V.
All right, we gotta get one more first to second for the boys.
If you guys haven't checked out Cletus McFarland's YouTube channel, head over to his channel and check it out. I love watching his stuff. All right, dudes. We got the wheels on. Oh my gosh, good thing I didn't run over that in my brand new tires. Jeez. Not the wheels, we got the tires on. They look pretty sweet. And they still poke out past the wheel a bit. So they're still pretty aggressive. There's definitely no stretch on it. Let's go for a drive and see what I think of these things. Okay. What we're gonna do now is head into a canyon where we have some twisty roads. I'm gonna test the grip limits of the tires first, and then after that, we're gonna do a few slides to see how they break loose and how predictable they are during a drift. really get a good, accurate feeling about how these tires drive. And here we go. They do sound a little bit different. The little squeak that comes from the tires is a little bit lower of a pitch than the BFGs were. Stiff on these Achilles as they were on the BF Goodriches, so I can feel the back end kind of, when I turn into a corner, it kind of sits to one side just a little bit more. But as far as the grip goes, the grip is still really good. About to break loose, or even when it's starting to slide a little bit. And that's a good thing when you're trying to drift and not crash. If we can get a little break in traffic here, I'm going to do a little launch to see how that goes. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, here we go. Oh yeah? I didn't get any wheel slip at all. We're going to have to try that one more time. Be a little more aggressive. Here's a nice tight turn coming up right here. Oh yeah, man. Okay, so let's talk about what these, after driving these, and kind of what I expected from before. What these tires are not good for would probably be events like autocross, or if all you do is take it to a track. When you really want super sharp handling, they're probably not the best tires to get, just because of the sidewall flex. But that's not really what I use this car for the most, so that's why I'm okay with having this setup. And really what you're looking for in a good drift tire is predictability. I don't want to put something that's 250 bucks a tire, or $200 a tire on the rear, just to burn them off in 1,000 miles. All right, here we go. Oh man. Yeah, I like the way that these things slide. I'm gonna try one more launch here. Alright, here we go with another launch. I keep saying one more, but I keep wanting to do them. About how these things handle now. So now that we've done that, we're gonna head down to a business depot on the way home that's usually not very crowded, and I'm gonna try a few drifts to see how it handles doing that. I love getting brand new tires because I know that I have a ton of rubber to play with now. We're just gonna do something here real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. These tires that were brand new 20 minutes ago. I think it's about time that we head home. There's something I've been wanting to try for a while, and we're gonna do it today. Have you ever noticed how on some drift cars it looks like the front tires are wider than the ones on the back? Some of that is because of angle kits that push your wheel out wider so that you can get more angle without hitting the inside of the fender well. But also on cars that are, at least drift cars that are probably under 500 horsepower, 400 horsepower or something, it's also pretty common for them to run wider tires, like physically wider tires on the front than the back, to give you more front end grip and to allow the back end to slip easier. So what I'm going to do is just switch the front wheels with the back wheels. Before I let it down and go for a drive, I'm gonna turn the tires left and right to make sure that they're not hitting the fender when I turn on the inside, because these ones already, just being 235s, hit, and I'm wondering if these 8.5-inch wheels have more offset to push it further out so that I can turn without hitting. But we're gonna find out. And then obviously we're gonna have to go for a drive to test it out. You can't even really tell we did any donuts. These Nittos are still looking pretty good too. Before I go ahead and put this last tire on, you can see inside right there where I'm talking about that it's rubbing, where we're gonna be seeing if these ones are gonna rub too. Also, sometimes it hits the, let's see, the fender liner right here and there, but that's not a big deal. Man, I really like the way that looks with the wider ones on the front. Oh man, dude, I really like it a lot more with these wider wheels in the front. It just looks so much more aggressive. All right, so we had the tires on and I turned the wheel all the way to the left, and at first it seemed like really good news because we're not rubbing in the back. In fact, we have about 3/4 of an inch of clearance back there, but the wheel still won't turn. So then I look in here where we have the problem. Well, it's still pretty dark, but where we have the problem is on the inside of the wheel. It's hitting the coilover. So that means that I can't even put the car on the ground and start rolling because it's rubbing the coilover. But that, my friends, is why you test things out before you go for a drive. So that really sucks for two reasons. One, I really like how it looks with the wider wheels in the front. It looks really awesome. And in the back, it does give it more of a gap, but that can be solved with spacers as well. It doesn't even need anything big, you know, probably like a 15mm spacer. Maybe even less than that, like a 10 or something, and then it would look perfect. But with the front, what I want to do is get 5mm spacers to push the wheel further out and then just give it some more camber to give it better clearance with the fender. And then I think it'll fit and work just fine. So it sucks because I like the fitment, the way that it looks better, but I can't do it yet. But it also sucks because I put my nice tires on the skinnier wheels and the cheap crappy ones on these fronts. Well, what's now on the front, but it will go back to the back. So what my plan is now is just to basically drift the crap out of those things pretty quickly and not really have any reservations. So that way I can have an excuse to buy more tires. And when that time comes, I'm going to switch the wider back wheels to the front and leave them that way, and leave the skinnier front ones to the back and leave them that way. I have some ideas of what kind of tires I want to do for that setup. You guys will obviously see more of that in the future. But for now, it looks like we're stuck just leaving it the stock way. Now, if any of you guys are running the stagger setup with the wider wheels in the front and you had it fit, let me know down in the comments what you did to make it work. I was really looking forward to going for a drive and seeing how the 245s felt on the front, but what can you do? Now, somebody asked me in the comments, while we're in here, I guess I'll cover it. They wanted to know what kind of gauges that I have right here. I told them they came in the car, so I didn't have any idea what they were. But then I saw that under there's a little logo. It looks like it says VDO. So if you want to know what kind of gauges they are, that's what they are, VDO. They look pretty cool because I think that the needles and the numbers are pretty modeled after what OEM BMW gauges look like, so they match really well. And when you turn on the lights at night, they have the same color too. See what I mean about how they look at night? So guys, I think that's about all we have for today. Thank you for joining me for these tire adventures that I went on, and just really trying to see what works and what doesn't. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if this is your first time heading over to the channel, please subscribe. And if you want to see more treats on the streets before you go, you can always click these two videos here, or just wait for the next one to upload. If you don't want to miss a video, make sure to click the notification bell, guys, and I will see you next time. Who am I kidding? I don't want to wait till the next episode to start burning off the tires. I want to do it right now. Really, I just wanted an excuse to go out and get some ice cream. Yeah, can I get a raspberry Reese's shake?